you think that you're not good enough to do it, how else can you approach the doing without necessarily having 100%? So I have people who I can call. So if it's something that I've never done before, look, Google is your friend.
Yes.
So you can find out things on Google. You can find out from someone who's done the thing before, and you don't have to have 100%.
Right.
So it's getting ladies to understand that we actually have the capacity and the knowledge, and we just have to be bold enough to put ourselves out there to be able to take up the roles that people think that they wouldn't be entitled to, but they're actually good enough to do it. Different people, as I have grown in my career, have been able to challenge me in different ways. Watching the different leaders that I have worked with, trying to understand what is that difference between leadership and management, and how do you inspire the people around you, because that's also, I think, something that's really big for me. How are you able to bring up the people around you to be able to see that their success is in their hands? People normally wait for the next person to come and recognize that they've been working in a certain place for very long so that they can be promoted. But it doesn't necessarily work like that. Sometimes it does. I'm not saying that it doesn't. There are people who work in a place for years and then get promoted. But sometimes you should be able to recognize that how far you go is really a factor of how well you prepare, how hard you work, how you put yourself out there. So it is in your hands. Leadership is something that I consider one must immerse themselves into. You know the question, are you born a leader or do you become a leader? I think potentially, and there's a lot of literature that has been written and guys who've done research where there are different things that guys are shown on what leadership means. One of the things that came out in the profile that I did in 2015, and it's something which was good for me in my natural state, and because of my background, empathy is something that doesn't come naturally. I think because I've struggled through my journey, it's not easy for me to recognize that there are people who will not be open to the struggle like I did. So I work hard to listen more and to understand people's different circumstances and situations, and then be able to see how do I support these people to achieve what they need to achieve with the talent mix that they have. You know, sometimes when I look at so the people around, whether it's here locally, abroad, people who have achieved different things, then it's a bit easy to tell myself that sometimes I don't have to have all the answers right now. And I actually have looked at those situations where I'm saying, I should have done this by 20. I should have done this by 30. I should have done this by 14. It hasn't worked out necessarily the way I thought it would. Purpose, my why, to be honest, it's a journey. I keep thinking about it all the time. I achieve some things as I go along, and then the why stops being current, and I need to find the next one. I've been working all through. Started working from high school, so I had to work to pay for my fees through high school. So every holiday, out of the 3 weeks holiday, 2 weeks would be spent working to be able to pay my fees. Cleared high school and started working again to be able to pay for my campus. So I worked in a law firm before I joined university. I worked through university to be able to pay for the fees. Finished university and kept working. So I've been working all through. And to be honest, also open to working in any space possible. So I keep telling guys, I mean, from my CV, I worked as an auditor. I haven't done CPA, but I did audit for a year. It was good. I worked as a pension fund company before now going strictly into law. Worked in a law firm before moving to in-house. You can't work smart before you work hard. You can only do the smart after you've already learned what it is you need to do. So when you see people being able to cut the corners, there's a lot of work that had gone before that. So Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power, say make your successes seem effortless, but they seem effortless only after you have done the hard work. So you can't say that, I just wake up and I became a lawyer. I read. I keep on reading and reading and reading. So what's coming out of the court right now, and what are people saying about this? And you sit and you talk to people who are experts in certain areas so that you can understand what they're doing.